Hello, I am Sophie and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my goals for the rest of this year. Very exciting, a little scared. So, this video is going to detail September, October, November, and December. So the final quarter of the year, the burr months. I really want to close out this year strong. I feel like this year's been pretty good for writing. I feel like it's been, actually, relative to how the last 2 years have gone, this year has been amazing for writing. So I'd love to end this year strong. Every year when I set my goals around this time, I do try to wrap everything up nice and well before the end of the year to start fresh, I guess. For the new year, that could be having projects finished on time so I can start new eras of those projects. I can start the next draft, I can start revising, I can start replotting, that kind of deal. And it just makes me feel better. Having a fresh slate to start the next year with and not carrying over old projects. Though, based on what I have today, we might have some crossover projects, but cross your fingers, we're gonna hope not. I also do want to preface this video with the fact that I am not doing nano in November or possibly ever again. We're probably all aware of how not awesome of a company, of an organization it is. I've stuck out with them because it makes a great community. I feel like November, April, and July are really when writers shine and the writing community shines. But I'm also sure you guys have heard of the recent take they had on AI, and any creative person should not take that stance. It was terrible, it was awful, it was degrading, it was ableist. It was ableist on its own. I know it made the argument that people saying AI is bad and you shouldn't use AI for your writing, it was ableist. The fact that they were saying people with disabilities can't write on their own and they need AI to write was ableist. So just a terrible take all the way around. There's tons of videos about it. I won't get too deep into it, but I'm done with nano, and that makes me really sad because, like I said, the nanos make such great community for us. We all come together, we write. It's so much fun, but I can't. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not gonna put it on the nano website. I'm not doing nano vlogs. I'm done. That's the preface. Let's get into this now. Like I said, I do want to push myself to the end of the year to put some nice stops on the end of 2024 and start 2025 nice and fresh, nice and new, ready to conquer the world. And that will entail, first of all, finishing, in quotes, 2 projects. And that is Project Moss and Project Star. By finish, I don't mean publishable final draft, we're done. Obviously, I'm in 0 drafts for both of them. But I do want a finished draft. I want to be cut off with drafting for both of those projects before 2025. And then one other project that I want to be ready to draft for 2025 is Project Glass. So those are the 3. Those are the 3 we're working with. Project Moss, Project Star, Project Glass. Cool. Now, let's break this down. First, September. We're in September right now. I'm aware. I'm working on these goals already. But the main goal for September is to finish the Project Star trilogy. If you have been watching this channel recently, you are well aware of how much Project Star has taken over my life for the last 5 months. Did I start in April? May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. That's insane to say out loud. Project Star has had me in a chokehold for 5 months. And that's from scratch plotting from pretty much nothing to where I am now, which is almost done with 0 draft of all 3 books in the trilogy. Now, my original goal was to have this trilogy done before I started school again, which was August 26th. That did not happen, so my new goal is to finish it before the end of September. I've lengthened the goal so much because we are now in school and I can't dedicate every day to writing now. I do still write. It's not like I've completely abandoned the project, but definitely not as much as I was doing before school started. So I'm giving myself pretty much a whole nother month and then some to finish this draft, wrap it up, say the Project Star trilogy is ready to go, which is so scary. So scary. And as of filming this right now, I am pretty close to being done with the draft. I will have a ginormous vlog for this project. I might actually split it into 2, just because even after it's edited down, I know it's gonna be ginormous and well over an hour long, even with just the footage that I have now, and I'm not even done with the book. So I might split it into 2, just so it's not like a movie. I wouldn't want to put you guys through that. So there will be some big vlogs for this final book, but I am almost done. I'm wrapping up Act 2 right now, pretty much, and then Act 3 should be a breeze, kind of. Act 3s are always super short for me, especially during zero drafts, so it should be like bing, bang, boom, but I don't know yet. And for September, this is my only priority. This is my main priority, plus school. This is my main writing priority. I'm not touching any other project right now except for Project Star. That's my whole life. Project Star, school. That's it. Now, October. Traditionally, this would be Preptober, right? I guess since I've already had these goals set up pre-NaNoWriMo's hot, stinking take, this will still serve as a Preptober kind of thing for me, as in I'm prepping my next draft to be drafted in November or earlier, but in November. So what my NaNoWriMo story was going to be was Project Moss. I was going to do the first draft of Project Moss for November. I'm still doing that. So October is going to be completely re-outlining, well, completely, but re-outlining it, beefing it up, making it better, so I can start drafting in November or sooner if it goes really well. So this includes rereading the draft. I usually do this when I start new drafts, especially with zero drafts that I haven't touched in a while, just so I can refamiliarize myself with the story itself, as well as the issues that I already picked out, and seeing, especially with distance, whether or not I feel the same about the issues, whether I see new issues, whether some things that I thought were issues actually aren't and they fit in the story. Really just solidifying my idea of the book before I dive in headfirst into the deep end. And as far as I can remember, the story isn't too bad. I do like it. Definitely needs to have more structure, especially with the other two side main characters. If you don't know, Project Moss is the second book in the Project What trilogy. I have 3 main characters, and each of the characters gets their own book, in a sense, where they're the main character. And the main character of Project Moss, I think his story is pretty set. His is pretty good. Towards the end, I do remember I need to fix some of how he gets his plan to work. But the other 2 characters, the 2 side main characters, their stories, they're there, but it falls flat. It definitely falls flat, and it gets kind of just skimmed over sometimes. So I know that for sure. That needs to change. But the plot itself seems solid. It just needs to be broadened. We need to show things more. I think that's the main thing. Shouldn't be talking about that right now. We're not even working on the project. We'll worry about that in October, okay? So yeah, that's the idea. Hopefully rereading, re-outlining, re-world building, everything will be pretty quick. The real goal is to start drafting November 1st, but if I can start earlier, that would be amazing. Speaking of which, November is all about Project Moss. And since I am not using the Nano website, I might track my words manually. I might not even track my words because I don't really have a set word goal in mind. I'm thinking it'll maybe be 50 to 60K, just based on how my zero drafts to first drafts go. But I don't have a word goal in mind. My goal is just to finish the book. So if I do track my words, I'll track them manually, maybe put them in a spreadsheet, maybe just write them down. I don't even know, but I won't really be tracking much. And I also don't know if I'll be writing this by hand or on my laptop. As you guys know, I love handwriting. The zero draft of Project Moss is handwritten, but also lately, for the 3 books in the Project Start trilogy, I have typed them up on my laptop from scratch. No handwriting involved. So I don't know which way I'm gonna approach this story, but I'll probably start on the laptop, see how it feels. If I need to move to handwriting, I move to handwriting. That's the thing with me. I feel like I can very easily tell once I start drafting which one is going to fit better for the story. Last NaNoWriMo, when I started writing Project Moss on my laptop, it was not coming out. The words were so stale, it was so slow, so bad. And I switched to handwriting and it got so much better. And the opposite happened with Project Star. I wanted to handwrite it. I thought I was going to handwrite it because I had handwritten the last 2 drafts I had wrote. So I just, natural to keep going with this system. And then one day I just started typing it on my laptop and I was like, you know what, actually, I like how it's going on here. And would you know, I have 2 drafts of book 1 and book 2. I have book 1 and book 2 typed up in their entirety, and almost book 3. So we'll really have to just see what I'm feeling at the time, and we'll go from there. And like I said, I don't have a word count goal because I don't know at all how long this draft will end up being. Like, I can't even project it, especially because I don't know the actual word count of the zero draft because it is handwritten. So I can't tell you like how much more it's going to be because I don't know how much it is now. The goal for November is still to finish the draft, however long it may be. Given that I couldn't do that last November with this book and I ended up taking way longer, I think I finished it in like February or something. I'm not super set on the November goal. I'd love for it to be done by November and I'll push for that. But if it bleeds into December, it bleeds into December. Which, December. Finals take place this month, about halfway through the month, I think. So goals here are a little more lax, a little slightly. The first one, of course, is if I don't finish Project Moss in November, I want to finish Project Moss before the end of December, just to have the draft finished before we get into the new year. And then the actual like main goal, if Project Moss turns out, is to revise Project Glass. Revise it in its entirety. It's extremely short, so it should not take too long to actually like read through. And my plan is to start this once winter break starts and then just revise it for however long it takes to revise. Probably won't even take that long. It'll probably take like a week, but start it once finals are over, get it done before 2025. 2025 sounds insane, by the way. What? I don't like that. I don't like that. And then as a look into the far future, my winter break will, I think it goes until like almost the 20th of January. So that second half of winter break, I would love to replot Project Glass and be able to start writing that very soon after. But that's spoilers for 2025. We're not going to talk about that too much here, especially when I still have all that other work previous to do. So that's the ideal. That's the ideal. We're going to leave it at that. But like I said earlier, my goal for Project Glass is to simply have it ready to be drafted. Just walk into the new year ready to start a new project, ready to start drafting. I know if I'm not drafting something or working on a project, mostly drafting. If I'm not drafting something, I will actually go insane. And as you guys probably know, I think I mentioned it in a couple vlogs, I have been trying to revise Project Glass recently. Just like in between writing Project Star, in between school, in between everything, I have been attempting to revise Project Glass. I finished the draft in April camp, so she's just been shelved for 5 months, and I am finally admitting that I will not get to it until I am solely dedicated to revising it. So yeah, the couple chapters that I've read through already, I'll reread those once winter break comes around and like actually put some effort into revising it, because it's a great story. I love the story, but it does tend to take the back burner automatically anytime I start working on a different project at the same time. I don't know, I like the story, I love the story, but I guess not enough. Not enough to prioritize it over the Project What / Star universe, which, I mean, I don't blame myself. I love the Project What Star universe. But I digress. I have attempted to revise it sooner. It's not going to happen. We're shelving it until like December 20th. It is what it is. But those are my goals. That is the plan. Yes. With how school is going so far, we're 3 weeks into school. We're starting to get into the actual routine of everything. So far, I've been able to maintain a pretty decent writing structure. So maybe, I do think it could be possible. Maybe not around finals, but we don't have to worry about that yet, okay? If I don't write for finals week, I don't write for finals week. It is what it is. And I will be vlogging regularly, not weekly vlogs or anything like I would do for NaNoWriMo, but definitely for like each step in the process, we will be documenting it. Speaking of which, if you guys have a specific step in any of these processes that you guys want to see, please let me know. Please let me know. I'm always looking for video ideas. So yeah, if you guys want to see something specific, or want me to go in depth into something, hit me up in the comments. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. What are your goals for the rest of the year? Are you still participating in Nano? I'll still do streams and stuff. I'll still be trying to write, but I will not be doing Nano in a sense. But yeah, let me know what you're up to for the rest of the year. If you have any goals that you want to wrap up 2024 with, all that jazz, all of it. Yeah, let me know in the comments. and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.